My name is Logan Ewing, and this is my story. We grew up in church and probably stopped going around when I was 10 or so. I looked up to a lot of the wrong people as a teenager, musicians who did drugs, people who were trying to be rich or famous. That was the life that I thought I had wanted, what I thought was freedom. I started using drugs when I was 16, and that was a big catalyst for heavy addiction. Started with marijuana, and it turned into pills, into cocaine. It just became medicine, and it became daily use. I never thought I would use meth. I thought that that was a dirty drug, but I started pursuing the next thing and the next high and the greater high, and eventually it led to methamphetamine use. I think part of me knew that I was severely hurting the people around me.
He had different episodes. There was a lot of, Mom, I need money for gas, and I just gave you money for gas yesterday, but I honestly did not know how bad it really was.
Once I was pretty sure that he was involved with drugs and alcohol. Every day I prayed that God would protect him, that he would live through another day. I prayed that he would live long enough to be filled with the Holy Spirit.
I didn't care what I was putting in my body. All I cared about was how it made me feel. Someone offered me a drug that I didn't really know what it was. I had mixed it with everything else that I had been using that day, and that was an actual killer combination.
There was just frantic knocking on my door. I was in bed, and the person who came to my door said, "Lynn, he died."
I woke up in an ambulance, and the EMS personnel told me that I had overdosed and that it had taken 6 shots of Narcan to even bring me to any sort of consciousness, because my heart had literally stopped. It was definitely a wake-up call. Things had gone way too far. At this point in my life, I was completely closed off from the Lord. During this time, though, I was getting several letters from my mom and my grandma's church, Highpoint, and hearing that people were praying for me. So here I am at treatment, getting closer to the Lord, and this is when I met Beanice.
I worked at the rehab he was currently at, and every day they would say, "You need to look out for Logan E, for he has an eating disorder and he's got a lot going on in his life."
So Beanice and I started dating, and it was very chaotic, and we were in and out of a relationship. I was back in treatment, out of treatment, relapsing.
Found out that I was pregnant. I was petrified. I was 20, and I didn't know how I was gonna raise a child with Logan being in rehab. I called Amanda Pilger in tears. Within an hour or two, we were at the church, and our church, being the amazing church it is, they welcomed me with open arms and supported me from that night on.
I finally opened up my Bible and actually read it. I had opened it right up to Psalm 32. And the words that I read were, "Oh, what joy for those whose disobedience is forgiven, whose sin is put out of sight." I thought that I was the worst of all sinners with the things that I had done. In that moment, I had believed, and I had made a decision that Christ was my only hope. I truly felt like not only could I be forgiven, but that I had been forgiven. It completely changed my life. I wasn't my addiction anymore. I wasn't my eating disorders anymore. I wasn't my problems anymore. I was God's child, and that's what it told me.
We had a wonderful wedding thrown by the women of our church. Everything that needed to be handled was handled in church with members from our congregation.
Well, it's been almost 3 years now that he's been sober. To see that from where we were, it's just a miracle.
I'm just grateful to God that we can go to sleep now and know that Logan has been saved and restored.
Our family now consists of me, Logan, little Laura, and Wilson.
After being invested into by so many great people, God has given me several opportunities to invest into others as well. I serve on the worship team, in students ministry, and also in Hope Group. My story is the story of Christ's redemption, and Christ has shown me his redemption in my marriage, in my relationship with my son, and my relationship with the rest of my family as well. I'm grateful for my beautiful wife and family, and for this church for not giving up on me.